Okay, welcome back. Today we are going to look at databases. So once you have opened up your file, it will look something like this. If you have this, just make sure you click your enable content, like so. Okay, to open up the table and to see what's there, we can just double click on the guest table. So now let's have a look at the questions. Frederick has created a database to help him manage the hotels. Details of the people who stay in hotels are stored in the guest table. The first task, open the database, open the guest table. That's what we have here. These are the field names and the data type and description. You can have a look at these in the design view just to make sure everything is as it should be. Next, it says open a new document using word processing software. In this case, it will be Microsoft Word. So we open up our Microsoft Word. Let's bring this over to the side. We're going to type in the footer of the document. To do that, we go to Insert, Footer, and we're going to use these three columns here. Okay, it's going to say Task DB1. Okay, your name and candidate number. Okay, don't worry about that. Just put in the task and your name would be sufficient. Save the process document as Task DB1. File, save as. Let's save it on the desktop. Task DB1. Okay, done. Now the question. Frederick wants to add the details of a new guest to the guest table. Add these details to the table. So to add a new person, we click on down here. His ID is GS5412. So let's have a look here. If we have a look at the IDs, do you notice that all the numbers are at the beginning with the GS should be at the back? Now it's very important you keep the same format. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in the 5412 followed by the GS. Next, we're going to put in the gender and the title, doctor. Okay, pay very close attention to the formatting. As you can see, the name is typed in correctly, but in an exam, this wouldn't be accepted because it doesn't follow on the formatting from the previous. So if you type it in like so, you have to go back and change it. Like so. Okay, make sure you check for errors. Make sure there's a space between the number. Okay, and done. So add these details. Sort the guest table into ascending order of first name within ascending order of last name. Okay, now you can sort them like so, but it's much easier to use the advanced sort because we've got on two levels here. So we're going to go to our advanced filter sort, and it says here ascending order of first name within ascending order of last name. So because it's within last name, we actually need to put the last name first. So we go to last name, ascending, and then by first name, ascending. Now we go back to our advanced at the top. We click on apply filter sort and you will see the last names here. They'll always have a couple of names with the same surname so they can test to make sure it is in alphabetical within the same people with last name. Okay. Next, copy and paste the guest table into task DB1. Do not print at this stage. So to copy and paste, you click on the corner like so. Copy. Open up your Word document. And double click. If it's still in the header, you just double click to come outside and paste. Okay, with this, it's not very good to have it spread out like so. In this instance, I'm going to change the layout to landscape. Okay, and add it like so. Okay, as you can see, it's a lot easier to see like this. Okay, next we have the two questions. Okay, so give one reason why Frederick stores the date of birth of a guest rather than their age. Now, let's say Jenny joined and they took her age instead of date of birth. Now, if she joined when she was 18, if you look at the same record in 5 years' time, it will still say that she is 18. So with the date of birth, you can't tell what age she is at any point in time. So that's why it's always very important to use the date of birth. Okay, the next question, give one reason why mobile is not a number field. Okay, a lot of you would probably assume that a mobile number would be a number field. If we have a look here, it's actually the mobile is a short text. The reason is because mobiles have a zero in front. Mobiles are also, they're not a calculated field, means you don't make calculations on mobile numbers. They also have spaces and sometimes dashes in between them as well. Okay, so that's the answer to BI and II. Okay, so let's have a look at task DB2. Okay, oh, sorry. What you got to do is resave task DB1, sorry, and then once you've saved task DB1, then move on to the next one. So once you've added on your answers, file, save. Okay, next, DB2. Open a new document using word processing software. Again, enter task DB2 in the footer of the document. Insert, footer. Okay, task DB2. Okay, done. Save the task DB2. File save as. I'm going to save this as a desktop as well. Task DB2. Save. Okay, let's have a look back at our database. Okay, Frederick wants a list of guests whose title is Doctor. The list should only show these fields and email in this order. So what we're going to do is we're going to create what's known as a query. Now, what a query does is it allows us to select information that we want. So if we want just to select all the males, we can actually create a query just to show us all the males. And once we've created a query, for something that we can actually print out and hand to somebody to look at, that's when we create the report. So we start off with a query to get the information, and then we can tidy up the query and add everything into a report, okay, for easier to see. Okay, so Frederick wants to list a guest whose title is Doctor. So let's go to Create. We can close this. We don't need to have this open. Create Query Design. We're going to add the one table, which is the guest. Okay, let me just increase this. Open. Okay, first we're going to have a look at the fields that they want to show. So title, first name, last name. I'm going to go to double click on title. It appears down here. First name, last name, mobile, and email in this order. Okay, so now if we run this, we click on run to run this report, we've got everybody. But we don't want everybody, we only want to show the doctors. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the title, and in the criteria, we're going to type in DR for doctor. And now we're going to run that same report, and we should have only the doctors like so. So just to make sure it's not in any ascending order. Okay, so title, first name, last name, mobile, and email in this order. So next, save the query as search db2a. Right click, save, task, oh, just db2a. Click OK. Okay. You will see it appear here. If it doesn't appear, it means that yours is set to showing tables only. So if you can't see the query you just saved, click on this option and click on all access objects and you'll see it appear like so. Okay, save the query, display the results of your query, copy the results into task DB2. So we just copy again, task DB2, paste like so. It's always good to enter a couple of times because you're going to enter another table, otherwise it'll attach itself to this table. Okay, resave, do not print. Okay, next question. We're going to close this. Yeah. Okay, Frederick once listed guests who were born between the 1st of January 1955 and the 31st of December 1965. The list should show only these fields and create the query. So we're going to go to create, query design, going to add the table. Okay, what do we want to show? To show first name, last name, mobile, and birthday. Okay, so we have our fields that we're going to show, and now we need to look at the guests who are born between these dates. Now, they don't want to, we do want to show these birthday fields. Okay, so what we're going to do is, under the birthday, we're going to add our criteria. So, born between the 1st of January 1955 and the 31st of December 1965. So what we do is we use our greater than or equal to the 1st of January 1955, and we use the word and between the dates, and less than or equal to the 31st of December 1965. Now, once you're happy that this is entered in, you click away or hit the tab button, and you will see the hashtags appear between the dates. To make sure that it's correct, the hashtags will appear between both dates here, in between. You do not have to put the hashtags in, they will appear when you move on. Okay, so let's run this report and have a look. Okay, so these are the people that we've selected. We've got the first name, last name, mobile, and birthday fields. Save the query, search as DB2B, save DB2B. Display the results, copy the results into task DB2. So again, copy, and then in here we will paste the results like so. Resave and print. No need to print for now because you're going to be submitting these electronically. Okay, so we're going to save it though. File, save. Okay, next task. Let's have a look. Task DB3. Open the file template using the word processing software. Enter task DB3, your name and a candidate number and center number. Save the document. Okay, and Frederick wants to add a table to the database. Install the details of the manager of each hotel. The file manager contains information to be stored in the table. Step number 1, open the file manager. Okay, so let's go and find our files. Manager. Okay, so this is the file manager that we have here. Your task is to design and create a new table. Design the structure of the database table, using the information in the manager file to help you complete the table in task DB3. Okay, so let's have a look what we got here. We've got the H name, which would be the hotel name, the EMP code, which will probably be the employee code, the city, the manager, the year started, and the email address. Okay, so we're going to open up our template. Let's have a look at our template. And this is the information that we have on our templates. Let's see if we can move this down here actually. So we can move it here. And this we can move down here with the questions. Okay, that's easier to see. Okay, so add the data type for each field. So the data type for the hotel name, again, this looks like it's going to be text. The employee code is also going to be text. The location, this looks like text to me. The manager's name, again, text. The year the manager started. Okay, this would be acceptable to put text or number. Okay, we don't have a full date, so we won't put date at this stage. I'm going to leave it as text for now. And the manager's email address, again, is going to be text. Now we need to look at the field length. Okay, so the hotel name, let's have a look. We were looking, I mean, the length is how many characters? I mean, this is quite a long name here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So what we're looking at is there might be some hotels with slightly larger names as well than this. So we'll probably go in there and probably put in a number about 35. The employee code, we can see how many digits this needs. This would be 4. The location of the hotel. This is the longest here. So we've got 4, so we've got 9. Maybe we could go for about 18. The manager's name. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. Let's go for about probably another 18. The year the manager started, that'd be 4. And the email address, these can go quite long, so we're going to probably add in there about 50 for that. Now, the key fields is what we're looking at is the primary key fields. Now, remember, the primary key field is something that's unique. The primary key field cannot have the same information as anything else in there. So, for example, for a school, the first name cannot be a primary key field because a lot of people have the same first name, and it goes with the surname. So generally, with key field for a school would be the student code, the student ID. So in this instance, we've got the employee code. So the employee code is the most likely, is the only suitable one for using as a primary key field. So the key field will be EMP code. Okay, the reason for this is the number, the code is unique. Okay, that's what we need to say. Okay, so we've completed task DB3, resave task DB3. And do not print at this stage. Okay, so we're going to use the structure that you designed in task DB3 to create a table in the database. So let me move this over this side and open up the database. So to create a table in the database, we go to create table, and you can see it's appeared here, table 1. Now we're going to go straight to change the view to design view. Okay, let's see what it tells us to call this table. To create a table, display the table hotel design view. Okay, so we're going to change this as hotel, we're going to call it. Okay, and you can see it appears here already as hotel. So we're going to take off this primary key because we're not going to start off with our auto number. So the field name is going to be hname, data type is going to be text, and the field length we're going to have as 35. Next is the EMP code. Again, short text, we're going to put the field size as 4. Next, we've got city. We're going to change the field size, the number of characters to 18. Manager. We're going to change the field size to 18. We've got year started. And we're going to change this to 4. And we've got email. And this we selected as 50. Now the EMP code is what we chose for the primary key field, as everything in there would be unique. So we right click and select the primary key. Next, we're going to add our screenshots. For that, you hit the print screen button. Let's move this, print screen. And if we look back here, it says screenshot design in database software. And then we're going to paste that print screen like so. Now, they only want to see this part here, so we need to go to click on, go to format and crop the picture. Now, when we go to crop, we can actually bring this in like so, bring this in, and let's stretch this out. This is what we're looking for here. Okay, so this is done. Let's have another look at what we need to do for the question. Okay, display the hotel in design view and make sure the primary key is clearly identified. Take a screenshot of the design view. Now to identify the primary key, what we're going to do is we can see it here, but just to make sure they know we understand the primary key, we're going to insert a shape, an arrow, like so, and then we can type in here primary key. If you can't get the arrow to point to where you want to go, it's easy to put it as a text box. So go to insert, text box, type in primary key. We can shrink this box a bit, and then we can move it here like so. Primary key. Okay, back to the question. Okay, create a data entry form for the hotel table. So what we're going to do, let's close this first. Close the hotel. Save, yes. So forms are generally where people enter the information in. So for example, a school would use the form to enter in new students' details. So we're going to go to Form Wizard and we're going to create a data entry form for the hotel table. So we're going to go to select the hotel. We're going to add all fields. Go to next. And the layout columns, absolutely fine. Next, and we're going to call this hotel entry form. Finish. Okay, so as you can see, there's no hotels in there yet. Okay, oh, I seem to have missed a gap. So we're going to go to our design view and just tidy it up a bit. Hotel entry form. We always need to tidy up these labels. H name should be hotel name. Okay. For these are the labels. So you can always change the labels, but don't ever change these parts. These are actually the field names. If you change this, it will give you error messages. Employee codes. We can keep it consistent for our initial cap. So manager, YR started would be year started, and then email like so. Okay, so once we've got this done, we're going to have another look to see how it looks. Okay, so we've got our title, we've got our details on the side here, all in the right formats. Okay, next, what we're going to do is to create a new entry. So make sure you can see data form, take a screenshot of the form. Enter the data for London from the hotel manager. So we're going to enter the data from London. Okay, we can see it here. So hotel name, Parliament, Mansions, employee code L101, city, London, Lydia White, 2000, and I'm going to cheat a bit here by copying and pasting. Okay, so we've entered in the name. Next, it says display in the form view, which is this is the form view. Make sure you can see all the data. We can see all the data. Take a screenshot. Print screen. Go back to our Word document. We're going to paste the screenshot. Okay, and we're going to again click on format and crop the details. Now all they really want to see is this section here and make sure it's nice and sized. Okay, so that is now your task DB3. Okay, screenshot, and then you can save it as task DB3 and you're going to be submitting that along with your other work later on. File, save as, desktop, task DB3. Okay. And that is the database section completed.